Being a part of the digital age today, the presentation of information has completely changed due to the lack of physical space and ease of access. But have no fear, folks, digitization is here. The process of converting data or analog material into a digital form that can be stored and accessed later is known as digitization. It can be done using different techniques such as scanning of material using high-resolution cameras, three-dimensional printing, and CAD scanners, and then later converting this information into a digital medium. The art of digitization is a growing field in artifacts and analog preservation. Therefore, we decided to visit the Thomas Fisher Rare Books Library, the Bata Schul Museum, and the University of Toronto Archives to see where the real action is taking place. The first location visited was the Thomas Fisher Rare Books Library.
The Thomas Fisher Rare Book Library is located in our very own University of Toronto St. George campus. According to our interviewee Elizabeth Rodolfo, a special projects librarian, the library carries a wide range of books, manuscripts, articles, architectural plans, and more. The older the book, the higher maintenance and attention it requires in regards to its fragile and brittle quality. The library does not involve itself with extensive digitization practices. Within their boundaries, they use technological equipment to provide audiences with a small collection of digitized material on their website and at the archives.org. This digitization is hosted by archives.org, the Robarts Library, and a scanner from their basement. The library does not digitize any books authored after 1923 due to strict copyright laws. They have always been able to find funds for growth and improvement purposes when required. It was challenging initially to coordinate with all members and travel down to Toronto. Another challenge was actually finding Elizabeth, as majority of the staff worked downstairs in the basement, a restricted area. So as Sarah mentioned, the next location we got the opportunity to visit was the Bata Schul Museum, and we interviewed the collections manager Susan Peterson. Over the past decade, the volume of digital content created from artifacts in museum collections has grown exponentially. To our satisfaction, we discovered that the Bata Schul Museum is 80% digitized. The most common digitization practice at the museum is using three-dimensional images. They hosted virtual exhibitions on their website to display their collection. Another practice used by the museum is 3D printing. However, the museum is unsure what to do with this technology because viewers are interested in seeing the actual details such as fabric, metal, and so forth of the artifact. One of the challenges of digitizing artifacts is the high cost. Many different institutions are competing with each other in order to receive funding from the federal government. Another challenge is the notion of copyright. Placing images in the digital realm can allow others to plagiarize the work. As with most fieldwork, it was also tough for us to determine the authenticity of the data collected and to exclude bias, as Susan appeared to be very passionate about her work. Now Sola will talk about the experience of visiting our next location, the University of Toronto Archives.
The University of Toronto Archives is a collection of records pertaining to University of Toronto as a whole. It has records from the founding days, some audio-recorded films from the 60s, U of T newspapers, research materials by staff and students, architectural records, yearbooks, and photographs. Digitization at the University of Toronto Archives started about 3 to 4 years ago. There are two methods in which this is done. The first is to use a scanner located on the building to scan photographs and pictures, while the bound books and larger items are sent to the third-party organization archives.org.
Therefore, even though there are challenges with digitization, the positives outweigh the negatives. So, digitization is a practice which should be adopted by all institutions as to keep up with the technological world as well as to preserve and easily access information and/or artifacts. Thank you for watching.
Created using Powtoon.